Hey guys, welcome to Lee's Simple Tech. So this is just a quick video to say 1 week with the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So I've had the device now for a week. I'd say 7 full days since I got it, because on the Friday, you do the whole setting up and everything like that. And what can I say? What can I say? It's big. That's what she said. It's big, but it's not too cumbersome or anything like that. I've come from the OnePlus 7 Pro, and basically the size of the device is near on par, to be honest. It's just that you get a lot of screen with this, because the bezels on the forehead and the chin are really slim. I use Samsung navigation, and to be honest, it's not like you've got the whole real estate of the screen on the front. So screen wise, the size wise of the device, I think if you're used to a big phone, anything, even iPhone 8 Plus and above, something like that, then you definitely won't have any issues with this device. It's comfortable to hold in the hand. I haven't had any accidental touches due to the size of the phone. Seems like Samsung has really tweaked the accidental touches protection. The display, I mean, it's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. I've had no issues with it. Even the small hole punch in the top of the screen, where it's symmetrical in the middle, I don't find that it really impedes my viewing of the phone. Apps, most of them are tailored to have that top section of the device not usable anyway. I mean, I play games on it, and in that bar, if I'm using it in portrait mode, it tends to be used for notifications time and stuff like that, which is always on the phone. Now, when you have it in landscape and you're watching a video and that, there's not that many issues with it. And when you put it to full screen, I think it makes it less noticeable than when you don't crop it in, because seeing a half a circle, for some reason in my head, just catches my attention more than a full circle in the display. It's kind of when you've got your whole TV and you've got your widescreen view and you've got the black at the top and the bottom. You just learn to ignore it. So definitely in regards to the display, it's fantastic. I spend most of my time using full FHD Plus. I don't use Quad HD Plus, just because it's just a drain on the battery. And unless you're using it for certain things, then it doesn't really affect the use on that. Now, I don't have always on display on, which leads in to my other area that I wanted to talk about today, which was the battery. I don't use an always on display. I don't. It's just because I've got the Galaxy Watch 44mm, and to be honest, I mean, I get all of my notifications on my watches and on my watch, so I never miss a notification at all. So for me, for well over a year now, I've been used to not having an always on display. To be fair, because a wearable, it's kind of redundant for me. I know for you guys that it might be, something, you might not like the wearables, and so on. But if you do like the wearables, I'm sure you'll agree with me. It's kind of pointless having the always on display, because you're just used to it. You know when a notification comes in, you don't miss anything. So it's not really been something that has affected my battery life. Now, solidly, I would say I get at least 5 hours of on-screen time. At least 5 hours. Now, I don't know how often everyone uses their phone, but I would say I use my phone quite frequently. I take it off charge probably about 8 o'clock in the morning, travel to work, and I start my working day, so it's just sitting there in idle. But every now and again, by work time, I get to about 96, 97%. Yes, if I remember to take off like location or Wi-Fi. Sometimes I forget to take them off, and then thus it's still on there. I could put a Bixby routine, so it turns it off, but you know, hey, oh, there's something that I could look into. And then by about 9 o'clock, then I have maybe 97, I'd say 97%. And then as I go through my day, I might send a few messages here and there. And then I can say more often than not by lunchtime, either 12 or 1. If it's 12, I tend to have still maybe 92%. And then if it's, you know, 1 o'clock, I might have just under 90%. It depends on how much I use it. If I use it a bit more, then it goes to the mid 80s. And so on. But on an average day where I don't use it that much, I then go on lunch, I might use it a little bit, text a few people if they message me throughout the day, and then when it gets to the end of the lunch, then I'm probably 75 to 85, depends on how much I use it. And then I go through the day, and then the device idle has really been fixed now, so it seems to really perform well. So I find that, you know, by the end of my workday, even if I, you know, came off of lunch at 75%, by the end of the day, if I don't use it, then I might get to about 65, 70. But if I don't use it on a day, like let's say I don't really use it that often, then I've walked out of work with 82%. And that's technically 9 hours after I took it off of charge, which is really decent. And then and then when I go home, it's probably the most time I use it. So, you know, watching YouTube videos, using, you know, using it for Facebook, social media and all things like that, replying to emails, that sort of thing. But the lowest that I've come to, even with continuous use up until late, has been 15%. And I don't go to bed early, so it's about 11:45, 11:45 to midnight, or midnight, something like that, and I've got 15%. That's solid. That's going to carry everyone over for a full day. So in that regards, battery life is solid. You don't, you know, anything, I would say 5 hours screen on time and above is decent in a normal day. Yeah, it's not a 2-day phone. But who doesn't charge their phone every day? I mean, there might be a few people that might not use it, but if you want screen on time of 5 hours plus, you're going to have to charge it every day, regardless, whatever device. Even the P30 Pro, if you used it for 5 hours and you want it to last another day with another 5 hours on there, you're going to have to charge it. So, you know, any device you're going to have to charge every single day. So, performance-wise, it is definitely really, really good, considering obviously you've got the pen that uses battery as well when you've taken that out, because that needs to be charged, or when you put it back in after using it, it uses the battery to charge itself. So again, that's, you know, something that uses it. And the performance management on this, you know, Exynos version has been really, really good, really, really decent. So can't complain. It's actually been, battery-wise, the best Samsung of the year, close with the S10 5G for me. The only difference is the S10 5G didn't have the pen, really, and it had a bigger battery. But it had that massive pill in the front. But anyway, that's it. That was another video. And then lastly is performance. Not had an issue. Everything I've asked it to do, it's done it. I've used video editors. I've done my last YouTube video I did straight from this. I edited it on the Note 10 Plus. It didn't struggle with it. It does multitasking really quite well. It's really quite efficient in that regards. Editing videos, everything I've asked it to do, there's not been an issue. And with the 12GB of RAM in the background, it means that if I need, like have needed to multiple times in the last week, needed to have a few apps open to go back and forth to check, you know, to copy details across and that, because at the moment I don't have a tablet, but I am going to get one. I've had to use this. So whilst, you know, having the 12GB RAM has actually been really quite useful on this device. So the Note 10 Plus has ticked every box for me. This is probably, I'm quite confident in saying that this is the best Samsung of the year. Now, is it worth jumping from an S10 Plus? Probably not, because you're used to not having a pen. If you need a pen, and you know, pen is bay, and you need it, then yes, okay, do that. You know, if you can sell it, then you're going to get it at half the price probably. But S10 Plus is now are dirt cheap. They've just been sold. They don't have any they don't have as good resale value as other devices. Like, for example, my OnePlus 7 Pro. That sold really well. And then also iPhones, they tend to really maintain their value. Fantastic. But yeah, S10 Plus doesn't, or well, Samsung as a whole. So, is it worth the upgrade? It depends. You need to look at it and go, do you need this pen? Not having it, has it made your life harder? If the answer is no, you haven't needed it, then don't upgrade. You know, if you're just coming from, let's say the Note 8 or the S8 generation, then yeah, it's definitely worth the upgrade. If you're coming from an S9, it's still worth the upgrade, I think. It's just the Note 9. Is it worth the upgrade to the Note 10 Plus? The big features the Note 9 has. So it all just depends if you're that guy that you need the best of the best. If you need the best of the best, then it's the Note 10 Plus. It's the best overall phone for me this year. And I've been through a few. So I would definitely recommend it if you're trying to choose a phone of 2019. The Note 10 Plus is the firm contender. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you liked today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Press the notification bell for when I do a video. Do put up a video. This has been Lee Simple Tech.